Good morning. Welcome back to the SBJ Weekend Review Podcast. I'm Keagan Holsey. To my left is Chad. He's working on the top 5 list that we're going to be doing later on at the end of the episode.
Just got late on me.
I just kind of put on last second. Grandpa commented on the last podcast saying, well, the return to the top 5 list was short-lived. The issue is, Grandpa, coming up with things to do a top 5 list on every week is a lot harder than I imagined.
You would think you could, yeah.
So maybe if y'all drop in the comments what you want us to do a list on, it'd take a lot of that stress off our backs. I just kind of threw one out today that I was thinking through the other day. We're going through, later at the end of the episode, we're going to go through our top 5 cities in America, not to live in, but to visit, because if it was to live in.
In America or in the world?
America, just America.
America, bummer.
Because, well, I just felt like
No, I got you.
like you've never seen Europe.
I'm hoping one day.
You pretty much, I think the only, outside of America, you've seen Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean.
Right. Well, I was going to throw in the city of Jerusalem. There's something about the old city of Jerusalem.
I forgot about your Israel trip.
That would make my top 5 list, just because what an incredible, man, I don't know how to explain it, but Jerusalem was crazy cool.
For me, Portugal would be on there. Scotland would be on there.
So let's just stick with America. We'll work with our.
I feel like it's easier.
I need to travel a little bit more before we add that one in there, I guess.
Which I want to get one of those maps for my office. That's like the world map, and you scratch in places that you've been.
Gotcha, yeah.
Because I can knock out a lot of stuff right now.
You can.
But then I would also be overwhelmed by the amount of places I have not been.
Right. I've done well in the United States.
And then, so here's my question, though.
48, lower 48.
So, like, I've been to Edinburgh, but that's the only place I've been in Scotland. Do I scratch out all of Scotland, or do I just scratch out a little corner of it?
Well, that's tough, because there's been a couple of states that we just drove through the corner, but I'm claiming it. I've been to that state.
So it's like, do I have to go through every part? Obviously, I think USA, I would try to keep it by state that we've gone, at least stepped foot in. Not stepped foot and driven through, because there's a few states that we never got out of the car. Yeah. But anyways, that's all stuff that we'll talk about later on. We've had a great week here at Shiloh. A lot of things happened. The barbecue lunch finally went down after many people thought it was never going to happen. We finally found a way and prevailed, put it down.
We got it.
Same with didn't the chili cook-off get rescheduled a bunch too?
Well, it was the chili cook-off, I think, that got changed the most. It was the most.
Which poor Daniel a couple times came in with chili, and Mom was like, hey, it's not today.
I mean, just leave that in my office, brother. Leave that in my office.
So, and maybe I think that is why Daniel didn't podium this year. I think he probably...
He was burned out by making so much.
I think he put his best into the first batch. And by the end of it, wasn't ready. But anyways, we had a normal week. Was it normal week last week?
It was not a normal week for Chad Holsey. I was sick, and it was the longest week ever.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Last week I didn't teach Sunday school because we were setting up for that youth event. So I think this is the first week back where we've had a fully normal teaching wise.
Right. No, and
back in the swing of things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes, so pretty normal.
So we can start with Wednesday. We're still in the series where we're breaking down worldviews, but not in the sense of like other religions, but worldviews that we might even subconsciously, the way we live our life, would present that we believe in these worldviews. The one we broke down this past Wednesday was individualism and the dangers of being so self-minded, only thinking about yourself in every aspect. And so we broke down individualism and went over why what the Bible teaches us is better, and we broke down this idea of I am third. Obviously that's God first, others second, and then me, which is an easy one to talk about. It's a lot harder to live out. We say, like, if someone were to ask us, do we put others before ourselves, we'd probably say yes. But if they were to look at the way we live our lives, it probably wouldn't always paint that picture. And so, again, just kind of reinstating the intentionality behind living with the perspective of being third and placing, God at the forefront and then others in front of you. And we're talking about like how a lot of times we'll put our wants and needs in front of other people's wants and needs and not even realize that it's necessarily a wrong thing. Obviously, with movies and shows and social media, everybody's kind of pushing this idea right now of you come first. Like whatever makes you happy is right. Chase what makes you happy, which obviously, if you're trying to look for happiness in self-indulgence, it's a dead end, which is kind of what we're talking about here Sunday as we're going through Ecclesiastes. Is this pursuit of happiness through pleasure and self-gratification stuff? It won't last. We looked at the study. Forgot who did the study, but in 2025, they basically go through and find out where the happiest people are and what makes people happy. And they do surveys all over the world, and they said the number one cause for happiness was generosity. People that have done something generous caused the most happiness in their life. So not only do we have biblical evidence of, the Christian way of living bringing you the most happiness and fulfillment, but now there's also studies of people that aren't Christians that are seeing in their lives they are happier when doing acts of generosity. And so kind of helps reinstate this whole idea of, okay, well, then I should put God before myself. That's where real happiness and real fulfillment comes from. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. On Sunday mornings, we're going through the book of Ecclesiastes, where King Solomon's kind of going through this study himself. He's trying to find out, what actually does real happiness come from, and he's looking for all the different areas of earthly desire and pleasure, and you can read in the whole first chapter, he's just not happy at all. And so kind of the point of Wednesday night was not, what brings us happiness, but just the dangers of individualism, and trying to figure out how do we reset our focus to putting God first, others second, and me third. So that was Wednesday for me.
Nice. We are still in Joseph. Joseph has sent his brothers back to go get his dad and tell his dad that he's alive. They come in. Could you imagine that conversation? How much truth do we tell dad? How much are we honest? Or how honest are we going to be, right? And so they come in and tell dad, your son Joseph is alive, and of course they pack up everything and head south and go see Joseph, and Jacob makes a crazy statement. He says, now that I've seen your face, I'm ready to die. Holy cow. I'm like, dang, man. Let's have a party first or something. That's how I do. I'm glad I saw you. Now I'm ready to die. It seems crazy. And so I always laugh at, some of the wording, and maybe it's lost in translation because it's gone to English, but, you think of stuff like that and think it's kind of humorous, some of the things they say. But yeah, we just talked about that reunion and talked about how it's really neat when you haven't seen somebody in a long time, that you get to see them. Some people that you maybe thought, well, I'll never see them again. And of course, for Jacob, he thought he'd never see Joseph again. He thought Joseph was dead. So what an incredible reunion that must have been. And then, of course, we ended the whole idea of that sweet reunion one day we'll have when we get to heaven. When we see people that have been gone for a long time, some people that you'll get to meet that you never got to meet, and like my mom and dad, and but then there's other people that you've known that have passed away or gone, and
that will recognize them, like me and you get to heaven. You think I'll be like, oh yeah, that was my dad.
Yes, but it won't hold the significance as it does down here. So that's my dad, but that's my brother in Christ, that kind of a deal. But you're going to know that's Mark, I think.
He'll obviously have a new body.
Yeah. I think, though, there's going to be something there that still says, hey, that's Chad, that's Mark, that's Peter, that's John. I think there's still something there. And I think your thing might be off, so you're talking and they can't totally understand what you're saying.
It's okay. I mean, that picks it up. It's just quiet.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, I really believe we'll be known. Obviously, we won't be married or be given into marriage, and I don't understand how all that works and what that looks like. But I think I'll still know Tracy for who Tracy was, and I think there'll be sweet memories of good things that happen down here, of the good stuff, you know what I mean? And obviously, I don't think the bad stuff will be there. I don't think because there's no heartache, there's no tears, there's no that kind of a deal, but I think there'll be those sweet memories. I think we'll meet people that we had an impact in their lives, or they had an impact in our lives, and have an opportunity to say thank you and to be grateful and that kind of deal. And so, I think you're going to know. I think you're going to know who they are. Exactly what that looks like, I don't know, obviously, because I've not been there. But I really believe it'll be one of those deals that, that's who that is. That's Mark. That's John. That's whatever. And so
I don't know where I land on it just yet.
Yeah, well, but why would you not know them? I mean, what's the point of not knowing who they are? That just doesn't seem to make sense in my brain. So
I don't think it's that you won't know them. I just think recognizing them is going to be.
Well, why would heaven be hard like that? So who are you?
What do you mean hard? It's not like it's hard and who are you? It's I'm in heaven now, so none of the stuff that happened on earth matters to me anymore. The people that were in my life doesn't hold the same weight as that's God, and that matters.
No, I agree with that. I agree. Nothing holds a bigger weight than the fact that I don't think Jesus.
I don't think we need to recognize each other or need to know each other. Remember the stuff that went down on earth between the individuals, because I'm in heaven now. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, I think there'll still be sweet memories and good stuff. I think part of the reward is, like, if you're a servant of the Lord, part of the reward is people remembering your sacrifice. Like if you give to Faith Promise Missions, that's part of the reward, right? That we want people.
I think that's all good things.
Well, I believe it's all. Yeah, it's going to be.
I think like when it comes to individuals, how do you remember? Obviously, there's bad times with every individual.
Well, but don't you believe that God's powerful enough to wipe that away?
I just don't think we have a need to recognize each other.
No, I don't know. There's only so long you can talk to God, right? You're not going to hang out with nobody else?
It's not. There's nothing about that in the Bible, I don't think.
On either way, yeah. So
it's like
it's all speculation.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like there would be a story in there where it's like, so and so got to heaven and went, "Yo, Paul, what's up?" Like, there'd be something in there, but I don't know.
Well, I think it talks about. I don't know. I have to look at that, but I think the in heaven where you'll know and be known. I think it's like coming to church. You go to a place where people know you, they recognize you, they're happy to see you. I think heaven's going to be that way. I don't think you're going to get to heaven, people are going to go, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" I think it's going to be like, "Dude, we're so glad you're here."
But I don't think like it's like. To me, I wouldn't think identity matters in heaven.
Not as much,
because all of our identity is in God.
Sure, and
we're recognized as members of God's family, but not as. That's Keagan Holsey, who grew up in San Angelo, Texas, but then lived in Jasper, Georgia. Like, I don't think any of that matters.
It doesn't. Well, it does, because I believe your rewards are based on what you do after you're saved.
Is that not like a between you and God thing, though?
Yeah, but I also think we touch other people. So when I'm living for the Lord and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, part of that reward is that person's in heaven, and I had a part in that, and I was part of that opportunity, so that wouldn't that be part of the reward, that those people are there and they recognize the fact that I'm here because of your sacrifice. I'm here because you gave to the Lord. I'm here because you witnessed to me.
I always looked at like the reward as like job status.
And it can be. Time. Well, and to some degree, I think there will be jobs, and I think what kind of job you get is based on what you do down here. So what you do down here kind of is important, I guess. But yeah, I think the main key that they talk about heaven is there's no more heartache, no more pain, no more suffering, and so I don't believe we take the bad with us for sure, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. So, but anyhow, Jacob has arrived in Goshen, and Joseph has come out to see him. And the Bible says that they wept on one another's neck for a long time, and it was probably a very sweet reunion. And the brothers, I'm sure, still, well, we're going to find out as we continue this study that they're going to be super nervous, especially once Dad dies. Is Joseph going to come get us? But yeah, that's what we're learning, and really it was just more of just of a reminiscing and talking about reunions, family reunions, and how cool it is to see people you haven't seen in a long time, and that kind of deal. And kind of talked to him about us going to Texas this summer, and we got a bunch of us that are going to go down the Frio River and I look
Rio Grande, out of season, Kill a Rio Grande turkey out of season.
Yep, get a Rio Grande turkey. Nope, just kidding.
Does it still count as a Grand Slam in 1 year if it's technically out of season when you shoot it?
No, and you got to do everything legal. Legal's the key. So we're talking about turkey hunting. For those who don't know, turkey season started Saturday, and we've been talking a lot about doing what's called the Grand Slam. There's 4 turkeys that are here in the United States.
The Merriam, which is over by Colorado and Idaho. Rio Grande, which is in Texas. We have Easterns here in Georgia, and then down in Florida you can find the Osceola. However, there's also a little Easter egg down in the Yucatan Peninsula, Belize. Called the ocellated turkey. It's like a very vibrant rainbow-colored bird that I would love to murder.
That's awesome. So yeah, we've been discussing a lot, and we really jumped hard from Sunday school or Wednesday night. Joseph meeting with the Lord to killing birds, but yeah, that's what's going on. Is
not only is your phone ringer on, but the iPad too. They both just went off at the same time.
I've turned that off twice. I don't know how it keeps getting turned back on, but yes, they're connected to one another, so they're communicating. So anyhow, we're excited. It looks like we might get to do some turkey hunting down in Florida.
Yeah,
and I look forward to that. Maybe that'll happen. So, but anyhow, what we need is some Texas folks. If you're listening, Texas folks, we both need a Rio. So, it'd be nice.
I think for me, we're not going to have time to get to Texas during turkey season. Now, next year, if you want to put us on a Rio, it's great. Look, I'll be there this summer. You can get me on an Axis deer.
An Axis or some hogs. We'll go hog hunting.
Really want an Axis deer, holler at me. If you know somebody, I'm willing to pay $5.
$5. We got big money on the table, guys. Big money is being thrown out here. I would love just to see an Axis deer. I haven't seen them in a long time.
We can make that happen.
But I wouldn't mind putting a bullet in one either. So.
Everybody I've talked to, they'll let you look at them, but it's about $2,000 if you want to shoot one of them. It's like, hey man, we're friends. What do you mean? Yeah. I'm your friend. Let me kill something.
I thought we were friends. Yeah. Friendship is limited, I think, at that point.
Well, I didn't realize how valuable an Axis deer was to Texas people.
Well, and the funny thing is they're not even native to Texas. Yeah,
it's not your deer, and you're going to charge me that much for it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, anyhow, Joseph, he has got the family down in Egypt. So that's where we're at on Wednesday nights. Got a good group of men that are coming and having a really good conversation, and super, super grateful for all the guys that come in and that are a part. So,
a lot of repetitiveness in that book.
Yeah.
It's like, I just remember when I was laughing because I was listening to the audio version when we were, I was on that part for reading the Bible through a year, and it got to where it was like, this guy said this to him, and then he would go back and verbatim say the same thing to his family. It's like, yeah, I just heard all of that. We could have just said, he went home and told his family the same. It's like, why do I have to hear this entire conversation twice?
The conversation happened between Pharaoh, and then they go back and tell Jacob, and then they go back and tell Pharaoh. Yeah.
It's over and over.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot of back and forth.
Man.
Well, he said, and so I said, and because I said, he said, and you get the story, though, so that's good.
Anyways,
I love the story of Joseph.
Sunday mornings, we are kicking off because Sundays I like to do breakdowns and read-throughs of books of the Bible, so we're starting Ecclesiastes. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to teach out of Ecclesiastes 1. It's just him kind of in a depressing spiral. It's like, well, what do I do with this? Because but it's necessary to build to what's going to happen later down the road that I was really wanting to get into. But it's basically him just saying, life sucks. There's no meaning of it. All the streams run to a sea, but the sea never gets full. We're all just life is just this big machine, and with the gears turning into each other, and we just get ground up in the process. It's like, Well, all right. That's the whole chapter, guys. What do y'all think?
Let's talk about a guy who's coming to, so he's a very wise guy, right? So the Bible says he's one of the world's wisest men, and he's coming to the conclusion of, also in one of his books, he says, vanity and vanity, everything is vanity.
That's how he starts off chapter 1. And in other translations, it says meaningless.
Yeah. Okay. Same thing.
Everything is meaningless. But I did start off. We jumped over to 1 Kings to kind of show them a little bit of Solomon's backstory. God appears to him in this like genie form, it seems like, and which is like kind of how I feel like every Christian wishes that they could have an encounter. That's like, okay, I've seen it, awesome.
Yeah.
But God basically asked him, what do you want? He says, wisdom and discernment to rule over your people. Then we read God's pleased with that and grants him his wish, but then also gives him all the money you could want, like pretty much
wealth,
any kind of earthly desire you want, any human like hopes for, he was blessed with. I read this article that said that they did the math. The amount of money that King Solomon had equated to today's U.S. dollar would be $2.2 trillion.
He was doing pretty good.
So he would be the richest man in the world currently.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
So
he was doing well.
He had so much money that it wasn't even a thought anymore. Of course, he was the king. I don't know. King's probably not paying taxes. He's probably doing pretty good.
No, you pay taxes to the king. That's how he got all the money. And that's how that worked.
So that was crazy. But then so that was kind of just build up like, hey, this dude's got everything. And now you're reading his point of view.
Well, I think that's important for your students or anybody who's listening, is to know that here's a guy that has everything, and he's saying it's all vanity.
Yeah, well, and I've used this quote before, but Jim Carrey said a while ago, I wish everybody could be rich and famous once just to realize it's not what it's cracked out to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Of course, everybody's saying, I agree with that. Let's do it once.
Give me my shot.
Give me a shot. I remember Phil Weber, he would say, he goes, I don't know. They talk about, being rich doesn't make you happy. He goes, I'd sure like to give it a shot. I'm like, yeah, man, let's give it a shot. Give it a crack.
So and that's this experiment Solomon's running here is I'm going to look in every single box of pleasure.
Yeah.
And kind of one of the things the picture he paints there at the end is, I can attack life head on, work hard, wake up early, and I still have the same outcome as someone who lives life recklessly and doesn't care. He said, no matter what decisions you make, life is the same outcome for everyone. And that's a very depressing way to look at it. But he's searching for happiness and fulfillment in all these different forms of pleasure and earthly desire. And obviously he's not finding it. And that's the experiment he's running. So the three takeaways I had, the first one I just kind of associated with it. I said, life's fleeting. You can waste your whole life looking for happiness in the wrong places and miss it. And look back there at the end and say, okay, my whole life I've wasted looking for happiness and fulfillment in things that weren't necessarily going to grant me that. So that was our first takeaway. What was the second? It was good.
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
I think it was like I put like something along the lines of earthly pleasures or hollow, something around like that. Like it's
they call a lot of earthly pleasures, a lot of things, the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah,
like the first time you do it, it's like, woo, that was crazy, and then you have to do more and more, and then you get to where more and more to reach that high or whatever it is, right? And then it gets to where you're not even getting close anymore. It's just and you're just abusing whatever that high you're chasing, and there's a lot of different ways. But it doesn't have to just be drugs or alcohol. It could be a lot of other things. And,
but then we see Solomon uses this. I think it's been a while since I've been in an English class. I think the word for it's a metonymy. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think it's a metonymy, and it's like another way of describing like a place. So like people would say Friday Night Lights. What is that?
Right.
The football game, the football stadium. They're using this phrase, and the one that Solomon uses a lot to describe our time here on earth. He says under the sun. I think it was said 28 times throughout the book of Ecclesiastes.
I got
so
you.
He's really hung up on this idea.
Under the sun.
And, obviously he says there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing that has happened on earth, we would say like, oh, this is new, but it's not. It happened years ago. It's just the same repeat cycle. But anyways, the last point I had is the issue with Solomon is he's looking for happiness and fulfillment under the sun. When instead he needs to look past the sun and look to the SON sun,
right?
Which is kind of what we're going to get to here in the next coming weeks.
You don't want to jump ahead, but that's where you're headed for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good transition.
You're headed to Jesus.
Of course, I mean he does start off chapter 2. He's kind of still in his depressiveness, so it's going to be fun for a little while until he starts realizing some things. But I love the book of Ecclesiastes. I also kind of explained to them there's the historical books, poetic books, and I think is it the prophetic books?
Yeah, prophetic, yeah.
And I was explaining that the books that Solomon wrote were all the poetic ones.
Yes, absolutely.
Not all of the poetic ones, but every book that he wrote was a poetic book.
Yeah.
And so, which I thought about doing a series breakdown through Song of Solomon. I don't think it's worth it.
We probably should skip Song of Solomon for
There is a good part of Song of Solomon that I think is like a good thing to break down with like maybe like just a boys group.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about like if she's a wall, we'll build upon her an embattlement of silver. If she's a door, we'll board her up or something like that. We did a study on it with Salt, and I thought it was really good.
I got you.
And very useful. I don't remember. I'd have to look at my Salt notes to see what direction they were going with it. It's kind of a weird thing when you just read the verse. You're like, I don't.
Yeah.
When we first read it in Salt, I was like, what does any of that mean?
Right.
And Luke Freiberg did a really good job at breaking it down and applying it to a young boy's life.
Gotcha.
That I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Pretty moving. But anyways, yeah, Song of Solomon is not worth it with teenagers, I feel like, especially because they still laugh if I say we're in verses 6 and 7. They all chuckle, so it's like they can't even handle that. How are they going to handle
6 or 7? Right?
How are they going to handle her breasts are like mountains?
They can't.
Like, it's just not going to be good.
No, not going to be good. It's going to be a train wreck.
So, but anyways, that's my.
I can honestly say that in all my years of youth ministry, we never got to Song of Solomon.
There's just not a need. There's really not a need.
Yeah, man, I'm just going to skip it. I'm good. So good for Solomon, but probably not good for the youth department.
But like, is it even good for a congregation? Like,
I don't know. I think there's some folks that have done stuff.
At what point is it useful?
I don't know.
Obviously, it was given to us for a reason.
Yeah.
What is the reason?
Well, maybe we need to tackle into it and find out.
I'm curious to see what what's it called? My big book you gave to me.
Your
commentary. I'm curious to see what my commentary, like, how's it going to break down some of those things?
Right. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to dig into it.
Because that commentary is good at giving context, explaining why this is being said.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good thing to look through.
Well, I can tell you I've never, I've read obviously Song of Solomon many times, but it's never been something in the aspect of, let me see if I can't dig a lesson out of this. I've always just read it and moved on. So
it was like, I remember in Sunday school in Texas, me and his name was Kobe. You remember him?
Kobe Bryant.
No, Kobe
Shaw.
He was related to the Piles somehow. What was his name?
Oh, Woodfin.
Kobe Woodfin.
Yeah, I remember Kobe.
I was sitting beside him, and we flipped through our Bibles, and I went to Song of Solomon, and I pointed at a verse, and we started laughing like we had just found an Easter egg hidden in the Bible. We
found some sweet nuggets in this Bible.
Can you believe that this filth is in here?
That's awesome. And now all of a sudden, I want to read God's word. I am a committed disciple.
But anyways, what was your Sunday school?
Sunday school, so we're looking at Lou Giglio's "Don't Let the Enemy Have a Seat at Your Table," and then he gave us four things as how you'll know if the enemy's at your table. We only had time to really look at 2, so we'll only talk about 2. 1, the grass is greener on the other side.
True.
Meaning what I have is not good enough. I need more. I want more. Look how good they have it. And of course, I said we got off to social media and different things like that, and how that leads you to believe that the grass is greener when it's not. I mean, you don't know that it's greener, but I also believe grass is going to be green where you water it. So what are you watering? What are you fertilizing? What are you taking care of? What are you? And so this whole idea of, does the enemy have a seat at your table? Well, he does if you think the grass is greener somewhere else. If you're looking, the Bible says not to covet your neighbor, right? But when we're looking and we're going, well, I want that, I need that, I got to have that. Look how I it's got to be better.
Or like looking at things from the perspective of Solomon, where he's like, I can live right or live recklessly, and sometimes you look at the people living recklessly, and it's like, well, they seem to have
don't seem to be any consequences.
Better.
Yeah, there seem to be any consequences. In fact, it looks like they're doing better than me. And so that grass is greener, and that's how you know that the enemy has a seat at your table. He's sitting there telling you, hey man, what you got's not good enough. What God's given you is not good enough. What God's blessed you with is not good enough. He must not like you. He must not care about you. And that's the devil at your table that he's not supposed to be at. Interjecting all this negative and stuff there. And then the second one was, if I can remember it, the second one was you don't think you're going to make it. Whatever it is. I don't think, whatever. I don't think I'm going to make it through this job. I don't think I'm going to make it through the day. I don't think I'm going to make it through the week.
Like an insecurity thing?
I don't think I'm going to make my car payment this month. I don't think I'm making it. Maybe that's you. And you just sit there and go,
no, I'm doing good.
You're good. Yeah. And so this idea of God is not powerful or strong enough to help me through whatever I'm in. I don't think I'm going to make it. And that goes through everything. It doesn't have to be, I don't think I'm going to make it through the day. I don't think I'm going to make it through the week. I don't think I'm going to make it through the year. I don't think I'm going to make it through my job. I don't think I'm going to make it through my finances. I don't think I'm ever going to pay that loan off. I don't think I'm ever going to find someone that I love. I don't think I'm ever going to. And that's just it. And so the underlying deal that's there is that God's not good enough to help us make it through whatever.
Yeah.
God's not good enough to help us through whatever situation we're fighting or struggling or dealing with. And so those are the first two that we got to. We didn't have time to get to the other two or any of the questions because we really spent a lot of time on those two because, man, that we can really, if we're not careful, we can be so busy chasing rainbows, if you will, looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow versus realizing that we already have a pot of gold and God's already blessed us, and we should be, super excited about that and be grateful for that. The Bible says to be content, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. There's a huge peace, if you will, a huge comfort in being content with where the Lord has you and what the Lord's got you doing and what the Lord has, you know what I mean? And so it's real easy to look at other people, and I can use it in my, for me, I can look at other pastors and look at other ministries and go, well, I want that. How come I don't have that? How come I don't get to do that? How come, and you look at all that. And honestly, if I'll stop and I'll pause, dude, we are blessed. We have a great church. We have a great ministry. We have a great community. We have a great group of people. Man, we are rocking blessed. And that's the devil. That's the lies of the devil trying to get you to not be satisfied and trying to get you to where, I thought there's many times, man, I don't think I'm going to make it. This pastor deal. I
tell them first 5 years.
Yeah, no, and I tell people all the time, man, dude, I'm faking it till I make it, baby. And that's where, I feel like I've lived, for a while, and so,
well,
but that's the devil, right? So if God's called me to do it, God's going to equip me to do it. And so God's going to give me the resources and the strength and the knowledge and the wisdom and the spiritual depth in it to be able to handle it. And so as long as I follow him, trust him, and not let the devil have a seat at the table, because this table, for those who don't know, this table's for me and God and alone, nobody else. and yet the devil's trying to have a seat at the table. He wants to come in and set in, and he tells us those lies. And so how two of the reasons why and in a couple of weeks we'll talk about the other two. But how is if you know the devil, to know the devil's sitting at your table, two reasons how you can figure it out really quick. Grass is greener somewhere else, and you don't think you're going to make it. So it was really good. We had a good conversation. People seemed to be really engaged and plugged into what we were doing, and man, it went really well. It went good. So good. I was pleased. So Friday night we did our movie in the park. It was good.
Little
windy, which was not good for our screen. We've got to figure out a better way to strap that bad boy down. It didn't go anywhere. It just didn't stay standing up straight like we wanted it to. I think we might need to get a new projector that projects a little bit better. But I think then we had that big light that kind of hurt us. We didn't know that they put a light in down there.
I think the wind was just the biggest issue because
I think so too.
It just blew so much nonstop.
Yeah, I agree. But other than that, man, I am so grateful for all the people that came out, all the people that gave of their time, energy, and efforts. We made hot dogs, we had cotton candy, we had popcorn, we had drinks, we had it was good, and even I know there was a guy that walked through, went up to our ladies and said, "What's this? What's going on here?" And so they told him, goes, "Okay, cool. Can I have some popcorn?" Yeah, and then he left. So, which was fine.
Nice.
He knows who we are, and he was there, and so I think that's cool. And so we did have a couple of families visiting that we didn't know, and I thought that was good, and it was a good movie. That animated movie of David is really, really good. If you've not seen it, you should watch it. It's really good and good stuff. So it was a good night, and I appreciate all of our folks that came out. And
had a hiccup with the trailers, so those didn't get displayed. A lot of hard work and time.
Yeah,
and energy
that's kind of
those.
Frustrating. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I mean, we put a good amount of time into those videos just for it to not work out, which is what it is.
And I meant to show it Sunday, and I forgot. You didn't remind me.
Though when I asked you about it, you seemed like you were not wanting.
When did you ask me?
I don't remember.
Friday night. Probably not a good time. Yeah. No, I was fine with it. We just need to figure out when.
I mean, I have it all on a flash drive if you want them.
Yeah, we'll show them. We'll show them Easter Sunday maybe.
But so, anyways,
yeah,
it was good. It was the way God wanted it to be.
Yeah. It wasn't perfect, and I think that's part of the thing that frustrates us is you have this big idea, grandiose idea of how it's going to go, and it was cold. Which is crazy. You're welcome.
Pick that up from the cruise.
Yeah, Grandioso. And so you have this vision in your head, but sometimes God has a different vision, and you've got to embrace that and go with that. And it is what it is. But we had a good time of fellowship, good time of hanging out. Got to work with some folks, and we did some good stuff. So not the end of the world. It was good.
Yeah.
So,
but Sunday music was good.
Good.
Good turnout in the first service.
Yep. I feel like our first service was a better turnout than our second service.
Yeah.
Second service was a little thin, but I think we have a lot of sick folks.
I mean, if you look at like the averages of both services, our first service was up.
First service was good. Second service was
was
down a little bit.
A little empty.
Still good though. I mean, we still had a good number, and I really do think that this pollen has got everybody messed up, and I
it's
think
like
a lot of sickness.
A lot of my teens are either sick or out of town.
Yeah.
So we're kind of limited on what we can pull off right now.
So when your numbers are down, my numbers are down.
And Wednesday, I thought, I walked in there and I had 3 teens sitting there eating.
Crazy.
And I went,
it's going to be a fun night.
I went, man, I worked really hard on this lesson.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste it on just 3 kids, especially because they're like some of the core kids who it's like,
they've already got it.
They're good.
They get it.
They don't really need it.
That's tough.
And so I was like, you know what? I have a few board games in my office. We're just going to chill and have a game night. 2 more kids walked in. I went, I think it was the Fishers. I went, well, now I have 6, so I can play my Survivor board game. And I was like, yeah, that works out. That'll be it. And then, we had 5 or 6 more come in. And I was like, okay, I'm teaching.
Here we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll.
Let's do this thing.
I think that's one thing with youth ministry. You always got to be willing and ready to pivot. You just never know when, okay, we're going right, but we're going to take a hard left right here because that's our situation right now.
And so the game I had planned, I was like, I can't do that with 3 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And then, I had the numbers, so I said, let's go to the gym. And I had so many teens that were like, yeah, my coach/doctor says I can't play any kind of physical game today.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, okay, something's wrong with his knee. The Dickinson, like Gabby had a bruised heel and something wrong with her toe. Avery had something. And so I was like, all right. So I went up to Sarah Grace and I said, what's a good game that doesn't involve us going to the gym? And she said, we can play this game that we played at my birthday party. And I said, cool, tell them how to play it. I'll be over here. So they played that, which seemed to be a lot more dangerous than the game that I had in mind. They're like full on running into each other and falling on the ground. I was like, hey, we were just going to play volleyball.
What happened to your heel and toe, bro?
Yeah, the game was basically someone's in the middle, everybody's in a circle. She would walk up to somebody and say, do you love your neighbor? Kind of a weird game.
Sounds crazy.
If the middle person asks, says no, then the two people on opposite sides of them have to switch seats and sit down before the person in the middle can get into one of their seats. Or the person that she asks can say, yes, but everyone wearing white socks, and everybody wearing white socks has to get up and switch seats with somebody else before the person in the middle sits down. So you have people coming across, smacking each other. The other thing you can do is while she's asking the question, if I'm somewhere over here, because I kept doing it, me and Kenzie kept doing it. If you look at them and do a thumbs up and they do a thumbs up back, you can switch seats with them even if the question doesn't apply to you. Which every single time we did it, Kenzie ended up getting out.
Nice, so it worked out good.
Every single time, it felt like. So I felt bad because I kept being like, yeah. She's like, sure, I want to play.
Poor Kenzie.
And so it was the craziest when I got up there and I said, I was getting asked, and I said, yeah, except for everybody that has toes. And so the entire circle's merging at once, this mosh pit.
But you have to be in the seat directly across from you. You can't just go right.
You can.
Oh, you can.
Wherever there's an open seat.
Oh, you're looking for a seat.
What's actually crazy is the most dangerous ones are when the person says no, and it's just the two people swapping there on either side of her, because they have to jump over the person, not run into each other, and they have someone trying to slide underneath them. So you're just smacking all over the place.
Love it.
People are on the ground. We had one chair that Noah jumped in the chair, and it flew back, and he flew backwards. And I thought, all right, bro, you're being ridiculous. I thought he was just putting on a show to be funny. Later, I jumped into that chair. Same exact thing happened to me. And I was like, okay, if it wasn't on him, there was no traction on the legs of that chair.
Really?
You hop in that thing, it's flipping no matter what. And so I was like, my bad. I got upset with you. I was like, I realize now that this chair is just not the one to jump into.
That's funny.
So, but anyways,
wow.
What were we even talking about? Pollen, keeping people out.
Yeah,
that's why
there's been some sick folks. Yeah. That's the reason why your Aunt Debbie don't like listening to us. We tend to jump all over the place. So.
Which now we're already at 42 minutes. So we kind of got to hustle.
No, we're fine. We're doing good on time. So
I have to go to the restroom really bad. So while you talk about Sunday, I'll take care of that. If you had something that needs a response from me, I can do that real quick.
I don't. I'll just talk about Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm trying to drink water again, and it's
Seems ridiculous. So, wow. All right. So, in the main services, our 8:30 service and our 11 o'clock service, we talked about Palm Sunday, but then we also looked at just in Luke, we looked at Palm Sunday and Jesus coming in and how they were saying Hosanna and how they were just super excited about him being there, and they laid out their coats and the palm branches, and it was a big parade, and Jesus rode in riding on a donkey, which is a sign of victory, a sign of peace, and just the neat thing about that. But yet, just a few short days later, you jump over to Matthew and read where Pilate's saying, do you want Barabbas or do you want Jesus? And they're we want Barabbas. And he says, well, then what do you want me to do with Jesus? And they start screaming, crucify him. And some people believe that some of the same people that were just a few days earlier were saying Hosanna are some of the same people that just a few days later are saying crucify him. And we talked about what changed, what happened, and what we really looked at is when we talk about a committed faith, A committed faith can't be self-centered, and that's a problem with so many people. When you look at all those people that were saying Hosanna and laying down their coats and laying down their palms, there's a big majority of them. They were only doing that because of the miracles that they'd seen, because of the full bellies that they'd received.
Individualism, that's what we were
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
was just that individualism. It was a self-serving, self-centered idea, and so they loved Jesus as he was coming in because look at all the stuff this guy can do. But then when he was beaten and when he was arrested and when the things turned, well, then they turned. Why? Because their relationship, their faith was a self-centered faith, not a committed faith. And so we talked about that Sunday and talked about us and really challenged our people with being self-centered. And is your faith a self-centered faith or a Christ-centered faith? And, of course, the key is for it to be a Christ-centered faith. And so we went through there and we looked at that and the tragedy that happened. And we're going to look more about that, I guess, this Friday on Good Friday service. But just to really challenge the people in their commitment to the Lord and being committed to the Lord. And it's so easy to be self-centered. It's so easy to be self-absorbed, to think of me and me only and me first. And then the second point was a committed faith is a personal relationship. It can't be just, I know about Jesus. No, or committed. There's a lot of people I think that comes to church that they know Jesus or about Jesus and they know who he is or whatever, but they're not committed. They don't know him personally. And to have a committed faith, you need to have a personal relationship with him. And then the last point was, I'm going to be committed even if things don't go good, even in the middle of crisis. Even in the middle of things going wrong, I'm still going to be committed. And so committed faith doesn't change when things change, when things go bad and things get sideways. And so that's what we looked at Sunday and just really challenged our people as we head into Easter week and the week that happens and all the things that happened this week for Jesus. And we study it, learn about it, and pray about it and remember it. What my challenge was this week is are we committed? Do we have a committed faith or do we have a casual faith? And so that was the challenge. And I felt like the Lord really blessed it. Felt like it went well. And so hopefully people will listen to the challenge. And if they're not committed, that they'll make some adjustments and set aside self, have a relationship, and realize that sometimes life is going to be tough. Am I still committed even when life gets tough? So I think the reason why the world's full of people that used to go to church is because they were a casual faith, not a committed faith. I think there's people who used to teach or used to preach or used to whatever. It was because their relationship was a casual relationship, not a committed relationship. So my challenge is for us is to be committed. Are we in? Be in. We're going to be in, be all in. Let's do it. And so that's what we want to do here at Shiloh Baptist Church. That's my desire, and that's my desire for the folks that are here is for us to be committed Christians to what God calls us to do and what he's called us to do. Let's be faithful in it. Let's do it. So,
yeah. Is there Sunday school this Sunday?
There is not. We can talk about the weekend if you want.
Well, I was gonna break all that down with our closing. I say, first I'll jump in. We had a comment last week that I forgot about. Peachy Wheezy.
Peachy Wheezy, huh?
Which we, upon further review, found out that that's my cousin Michaela.
Oh, awesome.
She said that she will let Deborah know about our drink order, so we're going to be taken care of as far as the bigs are concerned and the manzana's concerned.
All I really care about is the big red and the big pineapple. The rest can stay.
Give me big peach. Anyways.
Oh, that sounds gross.
So our top 5 list we're breaking down today. Top 5 cities.
Wow.
In America.
In America.
To visit. I don't remember in order, so I'm going to let you go.
Look at my list.
Well, I already saw your list earlier. You talk about your fifth spot.
Right now I only have 4, so I'm struggling with a 5th. Stop looking at my list.
You do only have 4. So now we're both in trouble. Hang on. I had 5. It's in my notes app, though. Let me think through.
Should I tell them about this weekend while you think about your 5th?
Sure, go for that.
So Friday night, guy. Well, actually, Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. We're having Wednesday night. Y'all come out regular Wednesday night. It's going to be good. Eat at 6. Kids and teens 6:30. Adults at 7 o'clock. It's going to be fantastic. We want y'all to come and be a part. Then Friday night at 6 o'clock, we're doing a Good Friday service. It's going to be epic. It's going to be great. We're excited about it as we look at Jesus's sacrifice. And hey, I'm trying to do this announcement. Sacrifice and this thing that he did on the cross to pay for your sins and my sins. And then we're going to do communion. So Friday night is going to be an awesome night of just remembering and reflecting and talking about what Jesus did for us. Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, we will have the Easter Bunny, and we're going to have games and crafts. And
the real Easter Bunny.
The real Easter Bunny. I think we're going to have hot dogs. I think we're going to have cotton candy. I think we're going to have popcorn. I think we're going to have the bounce house. We're going to have a ton of stuff. But the main thing that we're going to do is then, right before we do the Easter egg hunt, we're going to talk about Jesus and what Jesus did what Jesus did for us, why Jesus came, and the really truth about Easter. And then we'll do the egg hunt. So it's going to be awesome. I think we have a 2 or 3 100,000 eggs, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be good, and we look forward to it. And then Sunday morning, Lord willing, if it doesn't rain, at 7 o'clock, we're going to do sunrise service at Amicalola parking lot.
Amicalola.
That's what I said, Amicalola, where you go pay your electric bill in their parking lot. If it's not raining, we'll let you know what we're going to do if it is raining. We haven't decided yet. But let's just pretend like it's not going to rain. And 7 o'clock there, then we're going to come back to the church and do breakfast. Then at 9:30 and then at 11, we're going to do our 2 Easter services. They're exactly the same, but we are offering for the first time this year, first time ever actually, 2 services and for Easter. So we encourage y'all to come. Last year we had a good number, and man, it'd be nice if the auditorium, both auditoriums were filled, both services were full. We had people everywhere. That'd be crazy cool. And so that's what's happening this weekend. We look forward to it. Or this week, we've got a lot happening, and so it's going to be a fun week, man. So if you come to as much as you can, but you're invited to everything we're doing. And so
coming to none of it's not an option.
Coming to none of it's not an option. And the thing is to know about the 2 East, the only thing that's repeats that would be the same message, and that would be like, well, I've already heard this before, would be the 9:30 and the 11 o'clock service. Other than that, everything else is different. There's none of it. Good Friday service is different from sunrise service is different from Easter service. So come hang out with us. We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be a long weekend for you. Anyways,
it's gonna be
my
good.
number 5 spot, I didn't get to spend too much time here, but I have selected Nashville, Tennessee.
I've not ever spent any time there. I would love to go, though. I would
want
love to go to the Ryman Auditorium.
I want to spend more time. But the short time I was there, I already knew that, like, man, I would really like it here, especially anybody that likes country music. It's hard to not have a good time there. Also, they got their Nashville hot chicken. Food's great. Country music's great. So that seems like that'd be a good spot for my number 5. Gets tough because there's a lot of places that are the same as other places that didn't make the list. Obviously, I considered San Angelo being at my number 5 spot for a long time, just because it's where legends are born. Shout out to 325. You weren't born in San Angelo, were you? Snyder?
This is not. I was born in Scurry County, Snyder, Texas.
So, yeah. Like I said, legends are born in San Angelo.
Right, I'm out.
The 325. Thinking about getting 325 tatted on my forehead.
Wow.
Let people know. Anyways, what's your number 5? Have you decided on something?
Well, I'm going to go with, hopefully I'm going to come up with one here, and it's going to pop in my head. It's going to be there. But on my list of 4, my
I saw your number 1.
No, that's not my number 1.
I'm looking at your number 1.
It's not in order.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not in order. I just wrote down some cities that I like. Right now, my number 4, if you will. I can't think of a number 5.
Well, then let me say my number 4 and we'll come back to it.
Let's do that.
In my number 4 spot.
Number 4 spot. Here we go.
Home of the greatest college in the world.
Oh, wow.
Home of...
Can anybody guess?
A lot of other... I mean, dude, it's just... You want fun? Now, there's a lot of bad in this place. You have to be careful.
Got to be careful.
It's I'm going to go Austin, Texas for the number 4 spot.
Austin, Texas.
Hook 'em. In the... To the Texas State Fair's there, too, isn't it?
No, Texas State Fair
You said that... Oh, no, because that's Red River Rivalry.
Is in Dallas.
Yeah.
Red River.
That's right. My bad. Silly me. What a silly thing. I forgot that, because I remember you would always say you'd go to Texas State Fair and then watch through the fence.
Yes.
To see the game.
Yes.
And I for some reason forgot that that's when the Red River rivalry goes down.
Yes.
Obviously, when Texas inevitably beats Oklahoma every year.
Yeah.
So, anyways, my apologies. Silly me.
Happens.
Didn't mean to sound like a casual there, but I'm going to go Austin for my number 4 spot.
Okay, so I'm going to back up and go number 5, New Braunfels, Texas.
Is that home of Schlitterbahn?
That is home of Schlitterbahn, and that's why I picked it. It's
a great place.
I love Schlitterbahn. I don't know that I care too much about New Braunfels. I don't know that I've ever really seen much of the city, but man, what a water park.
Greatest water park in the world,
yeah,
they say.
Greatest water parks, several parks. Great place. Love to go, love to hang out. And then if I wanted to do like one that was a very small podunk nothing town, would be Uvalde or Leakey, Texas, down home of the Frio River.
You know, a small nothing town that I really had a good time in was, and this is shocking because I would never think somewhere in California would end up on my list, but
wow, we just got crazy.
Truckee, California was a great time.
Truckee County, California was a great town.
I had a blast. It's a cool little town. You're right there by the Palisades for snowboarding. You're right there by Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, you're right there where they ate
Nevada.
each other.
Yeah, Donner Pass.
Donner Pass, yeah, it's right there.
So
it's good.
Really cool little town.
So
that'll be my honorable mention. Will be Truckee. Had a blast there. No, San Francisco's horrible.
I'm okay if I don't ever go back to San Francisco.
Now, other than the Redwood Forest is incredible.
Yeah.
You're in this disgusting, nasty, packed town. The hills are too steep. They're too tight.
It's crazy.
Nothing there. I've seen the Golden Gate Bridge once. Was awesome. Seeing Alcatraz once. Awesome. Stuff I'll never forget. Do I need to go back there? Would I ever want to live there? Absolutely not. But tucked away in the little corner of it is this Redwood Forest where the most beautiful trees. They're huge.
Yes, it took 17 of us to get our arms around it.
Yeah, so
I think
really
it was
cool.
17 of us. There was a lot of us.
I would check that out.
Impressive.
If you could. Obviously, I think San Francisco is worth going to once in your life.
You need to go.
There's a lot of places I've gone to that I wouldn't want to live. Actually, my number 1 city, and I'd probably live there. I'm not a big city guy to live in.
Right.
To visit's awesome. But anyways,
that's right. So two of my and think of little towns like in Texas. I think of Fredericksburg. I think of Luckenbach, Texas. I think of little places like that.
Yeah, but Luckenbach has literally nothing.
Nothing, and it's great. You wouldn't want to live there, but it's really cool to say you've been there.
They've got a bar and a gift shop.
Yes, well, they have a hat shop in the back, which was really, really good.
A post office too,
and a post office and cornhole. So life is good in Luckenbach,
and it's everything that's in Luckenbach is all in one.
Yeah.
1 acre of land.
Yeah. So for me, I love those little towns like that, and I like going to see them. Obviously, I probably wouldn't want to live there, but going down on the Frio River, I love going to New Braunfels, to Schlitterbahn. I love going to, things like that. I really, really enjoy. But my number 4, as far as like a bigger city to go visit and that kind of thing, I'm going to say Washington, D.C., and I went there when I was younger. My mom took us.
Never been.
And you need to go, man. One of the things that's really cool. So I was really, when I was in high school, I was really interested in the Vietnam War. It was just something about it that was really cool. So we got to go to the Vietnam Wall, and that was just really surreal.
Terrible war.
A terrible war. And we got to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
That's cool.
We got to go to Arlington Cemetery. We got to go see, of course, all the monuments and stuff. And then one of the really cool things is the Smithsonian museums. They don't cost nothing. You just walk in, go look around. It's really, really neat. And
is that where Night of the Museum was based?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. All I know is there is a ton of history, and if you're a history person and you like museums and that kind of stuff, D.C. is the place. But they
best museum I've been to is the Louvre.
I've never been there.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's a fancier place. But they have now the Bible Museum, I think, and they're in D.C., and I really desire to go to that facility and check that out. I imagine if I went, it would be an all-day adventure for me.
Sure.
So, but anyhow, D.C., that's number 4.
I have a friend who lives there and works in the White House.
Yeah,
so maybe
we need to go. Maybe get a tour. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do that.
So that'd be cool.
Anyways, I think we need to go spend a day there. I think it'd be fun.
His little brother is probably listening to this podcast. So if you are, shout out. Shout out you, Drew.
Shout out to Drew.
And shout out your brother, Davis.
Drew and Davis.
Legend. Anyways.
No, that's awesome. Awesome.
But
we'd love to go there.
My number 3 spot.
Uh-oh.
I went here for the first time last year, I believe.
Oh,
on a bachelor trip. No, not a bachelor trip. I was there for a wedding, and we just made a trip out of it. Those of us that were not groomsmen decided to, hey, wedding's this day. Let's spend the beginning of the week here and get our fill of the city. That is Louisville, Kentucky.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever been there.
Super awesome. For free, you can see the Kentucky Fried Chicken Museum.
That sounds amazing.
It was
free Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Unfortunately, no. I was a little disappointed, but still really cool.
Disappointing.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome. It was free.
Colonel Sanders is
there's
the best.
The Louisville Slugger Museum.
Yep,
really cool.
Yep. Watch them make bats.
There's some history stuff we didn't get to check out because I was the only person interested in it. Anyways, but for some reason everybody was on board with KFC Museum. Doesn't make sense, but we had a bunch of guys in this house, and it was a lot of fun. Traveling around, hanging out. We went to where the Kentucky Derby's at. What's that place called?
The Kentucky Derby?
No, that's the event. The place, I forgot what it's called.
Something Downs.
Yes.
Something Downs, Meteor Downs. Somebody's down.
Somebody is down.
Sarah's down.
No, not even close.
No.
But you got the Downs part, which is impressive.
Tracy's Downs.
Anyways, we'll move on.
I'm lost.
We went there and spent a great portion of the day watching the horse races, and that was so much fun. When the Kentucky Derby's not going on, it's $10 for all-day admission, and
you just watch horses run.
We sat in somebody's private booth that they use for the Kentucky Derby, but they don't use on the day-to-day. They let us
Mercer Downs.
sit. No, you're not even close. They let us sit there for free, which was cool. So we got to sit in this private booth. I don't understand how you got the Downs part, but everything else is nowhere in the ballpark.
Well, I come up with more than you have. Horses Downs.
I have a golf chip in my truck that says the name of it, so I'll just look at that after this, so we'll both be satisfied. Sad. It's what is it, man? It's gonna drive me crazy. Will you look it up?
Huh?
You're on your phone. Will you look it up?
That's what I'm doing.
You're in the Wells Fargo app, man.
I don't know how I got there.
But anyways.
Hey, Siri.
We spent the day there watching horse races. That was so much fun. We got to check out, what school is there in Louisville? We saw the Cardinals Stadium. I got to watch a baseball game. It was the Louisville Bats, which is a minor league team. They gave us a free hat. Our seats were free too because
and I love going to minor league games. There's just always a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we went. There's our buddy that lives there, and he's a discipleship pastor, I believe, at a church there in Louisville. He was taking his church group to the minor league game. He said, "Hey, I got this many extra seats if y'all want to come," and it was the perfect amount of guys that we had. So not only did we get those free seats, but we also got free hats that came with the seats and a free meal voucher. So all in all, it was a great trip. Louisville's just so much fun. I'd love to go back there without that group of friends so I can actually go see a lot of the stuff that I wanted to see that didn't get to. But the horse races alone were just so much fun that I would love to go back there. I think if I ever get married, probably don't know why I phrased it that way. When I get married, I'll probably want to do my bachelor trip there just because it was so much fun and there's just a lot of options. But that's going to take my number 3 spot. That is Louisville, Kentucky. We are well over an hour, so we got to start hustling because it's going to take forever to edit this. So what's your number 2?
Downs. Number 2, I've only been there once. I would like to go back again, but I had a really, really good time. I definitely would not want to live here, but going and seeing, and once again, I'm a history guy, right?
Churchill Downs.
That's what I said, Churchill. Of course, everybody's been screaming that on here for hours.
100%.
They probably knew. I told you it was Downs, Churchill Downs. Anyhow, so this little city that we went to a couple of years ago is Boston. And I would like to go back because I would like to see a Red Sox game. I would like to go see
That's your number 3?
Number 3, yeah.
Crazy.
Number 3. Is that crazy?
Well, yeah, I think it's absurd.
Absurd. Well, anyhow, that's where it lands in my world. Like I said, I've only been there once, but I really had a good time. I liked doing the Paul Revere, running down the road. I enjoyed just if it wouldn't have been raining. That's the only thing that was bad.
The weather was brutal while we were there.
The weather was not good, but other than that, man, it was neat to walk around Wrigley Field. We got to do a tour. which I loved. I thought that was super cool. We got to do a couple of other things, and we got to go see Bunker Hill, and we got to see, a lot of cool things. And so there's just a lot of history and a lot of things that has happened in Boston. And then we had a cool little Airbnb that we all stayed at with Grandpa and Mimi and Colton and Kelly and Ashley and their mom, and it was a good time. It was a lot of fun, and so maybe one day we'll get to go back again, and it was a lot of good times. So.
Well, my number 2 is Fort Worth, Texas.
Well, that's crazy.
Really love Fort Worth. It's a cool little town. You're also close to a lot of other cool places in Texas, but the Stockyards rock. Haven't been inside, but I think it's called Billy Bob's. It's got a lot of history.
Billy Bob's, yeah.
Pretty cool. They run cows through the middle of the street every day, so that's cool. That there's a rodeo there that I'd love to go to, but crazy expensive. But anyways, Fort Worth is my number 2 spot. I also decided I'm going to remove Truckee as my honorable mention and put in, I don't remember, was the city actually called Tombstone or was it called something else?
Tombstone, yeah.
That we went to, and they were...
No, that was Deadwood.
So Deadwood
was a cool city,
that'll be
man.
my honorable mention.
Yeah, Deadwood was cool. Deadwood was a lot of fun, and that's my honorable mention. Let's do it that way. It was fantastic. My number 2 is San Antonio, Texas. And
remember the Alamo.
Absolutely. And I feel like every Texan should be required to go and see.
I should have done that instead of Austin. See
Davy Crockett's hair, and I think, and see his gun, and just read the stuff, and just stand in the awe of what is the Alamo. And
that's a good answer. I'm going to remove Austin and put in San Antonio.
Well, and that I knew it would be a good answer. That's why I said it.
Well, you know what Charles Barkley says about San Antonio.
I don't know. But anyhow, Charles Barkley says a lot of crazy stuff, so we probably don't need to repeat what Charles Barkley says on our podcast. But anyhow, San Antonio is a really cool city. A lot of fun. They have the river walk. You get to go down on the river walk. You can ride the boat. They give you all the history of it. But it's crazy. In the middle of downtown San Antonio, there's the Alamo, and I think that's just really, really cool. There's a cool mall right there on the river walk, and the Alamo Dome is just down the road, and it's all right there. And there's a lady, I forgot the name of her restaurant, but she has cinnamon rolls that are
Lulu.
That are this big. What's her name?
We got those big cinnamon rolls at a place called Lulu's.
Lulu's, that's right. Holy smokes. Fantastic. Really good eating. And so, San Antonio, that's my number 2.
Yeah,
I really,
that rocks.
Really, really like San Antonio. Really cool city to really go hang out and spend some time. It's been a long time since I've been there. And except for we flew into there for that funeral to drive to San Angelo, but we didn't get to see or visit anything. So
I was laughing earlier because from here it looks like San Angelo, and I was laughing because I thought you put San Angelo as your number 1, and I was like, that's awesome. My number 1, had so much fun here. Would love to go back, spend more time. Just so much history, so many cool things. Just what a lovely place to be. My number 1 is going to be Boston.
Wow, Boston.
My favorite city in America, Boston,
is it really?
Massachusetts.
Wow.
Had so much fun
Crazy.
there. I could do without, we went to Baltimore, Maryland on that same trip.
Yep, never go there.
So that'll be what I'm going to select as the worst city in America. Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, don't go visit.
Yeah, it's not worth the time. Never go there. Except for it was cool seeing Edgar Allan Poe's grave because, like I said, I like poetry.
And Babe Ruth's house. We got to see where he was born.
That's true. Yeah, that was cool.
That was kind of cool too. Yeah,
but we got to see Edgar Allan Poe, man. That rocked. That was cool.
Yep, that was 2 of the cool things that we did see. The rest was kind of, I didn't feel like we were welcome there.
Yeah, there was a group of black Israelites that told us we were going to hell because we're white.
I hate that.
And that hurt my feelings.
I know.
I was just trying to buy a sweatshirt from the gift shop.
Just wanted a sweatshirt.
That's all I was trying to do.
Yeah.
But anyways, my number 1 is going to be Boston.
Boston was great. I love Boston. Like I said, I wouldn't mind going back to it. It'd be a good time. My number 1 is Fort Worth, Texas. I love Fort Worth. I like the feel of it. I like that it's a big city, but it has a country feel. I like all the barbecue and steak restaurants that they have. I love that there's a rodeo there. I love the Dickies sports arena where they do the rodeo, the big national rodeo. I love the running of the Longhorns. I like going to the record record store that's there on that brick in the stockyard way in the back left corner.
Gotten a lot of stuff from that place.
Yeah, I love that whole shopping center. And man, I just really like Fort Worth. If you ever go to Fort Worth, I encourage anybody to go down to the stockyards and hang out there for a little bit and just walk around. Very, very, very cool. That's the old part of Fort Worth, and just a neat place to go hang out. And then I just like Fort Worth. Fort Worth has a great zoo. Fort Worth is just a good location, and I don't know. It's just a neat little town that I've always really enjoyed going and visiting, and I look forward to this summer. I'm wanting to get another cow rug for my office to put in front of my fireplace. So that's the plan, is to go to Fort Worth one day and after we're done with camp and get me another rug. And
yeah, girl.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And so that's my number one, I guess, would be Fort Worth. And, of course, right next to it's a little town called Weatherford, Texas, which I love a lot. They have a place called Gibson's, which I love a lot, and I really enjoy.
They also have a place called Willow Park Baptist Church.
Willow Park Baptist Church is in between both of those, and in a little town called Willow Park. And that whole area, I just really like that whole area. There, Waco, there, Granbury, there. I just really like that area a lot. It's really.
If I was to move back to Texas, I'd probably live there.
Fort Worth, Weatherford area.
Yeah.
No, it's just. It's just a great part of the world, and just really, I don't know.
My top places on if I ever moved, that's one of them. San Angelo's another, and Greenville, South Carolina is actually up there too.
Wow, Greenville, South Carolina, but he didn't make the top 5.
What? The places to live and places to visit are entirely different.
So our conversation is places we love to visit. And I love to visit all the places I've said, and I love that we live in Jasper, Georgia. So,
anyways, that's our top 5. Thank you for listening. If you feel inclined, you want to drop your top 5 in the comments, go for it.
Please do.
Just leave a comment either way. It doesn't have to be your top 5 list. Also, I was told by Spotify, those of you that are listening on Spotify, none of y'all, a lot of y'all are listening, but very few people are following. So make sure you hit that follow and like button.
Please.
That would help us out a ton.
Please.
Doesn't cost you anything. You just hit the little button. So
hit a button.
Anyways, thank y'all for listening. Make sure you join us. We have a really awesome, fun weekend coming up. Please
be great.
Come be a part. We will see y'all there.